Hi guys, welcome to the garden. So today we are planting carrots. We are going to directly sow our carrots, and we are also going to directly plant the onions. We are having star, it's a hybrid variety, star 5522. We are also having red creole. I love red creole onions, good flavor, and I believe they are quite resistant to diseases. The reason why I'm not transplanting this is because I had actually sown some germinated, some didn't, but we had a mess with our seedlings. During the mess of the relocation, I actually forgot some of them in the boot of the car, and some of them we kept in the garage for quite a long time, and they died due to damping off. So this is why I'm going to directly sow this and just keep my fingers crossed. In here, we are having a bush bean variety. This is star 2052, and I have put them in here in water. I soaked them overnight because I actually want them to germinate faster. In here we are having my favorite beetroot. This is Detroit dark red. I planted this at the farmstead and they did so well for us, and I'm hoping they will do the same. This is Ford Hook Giant. It's a sweet shot, and you can see all the seeds were have been in water overnight. I also have onions here. We actually harvested these onions together from the farmstead together. They are still nice and firm, but these are so itty bitty. So I decided that we are going to plant them as onion sets, just so that we can have another harvest of them. In here, we are having very sad looking garlic. This garlic, I had actually bought garlic from a supermarket where I usually buy my garlic, and it started germinating on me, and I thought, since we are not moving in another 3 weeks, I will plant it, hoping that it will germinate after a week. Guys, it took 1 day and then it had started germinating. I actually cut some of these leaves back because they were going wild. They were looking good, but then, like I said, we forgot them in the boot of the car, and when we took them out, they looked better, and then they just all of a sudden started becoming very sad. Also, garlic is a very they're heavy feeders, and I didn't feed them anything since I grew them cluttered in this small space. So I do understand why it's said. I have read that you have to be very careful when you are transplanting garlic because their roots don't like to be disturbed. In this case, I don't think I have a choice, so we are going to transplant them today. And then I'm having lastly before I go on to this, I also have garlic cloves that I forgot inside the house. We are going to bring them here so that we can also plant them today. And then I'm having hibiscus, roselle hibiscus. This is a summer crop, but I'm planting them today because I want to see whether they can survive our winter. I had I think around 7, and then when we were moving, some of this don't think we transplanted very carefully, and we damaged them with the move. So today we are going to transplant this too, or maybe I could also end up giving this one a chance. I'm not really sure because it seems like a fighter, but yeah, we are going to see whether they can survive our winter, but it's actually a summer crop. Our tomato seedlings died because of damping off, as well as cabbage seedlings, but I'm not going to directly sow this. I'm going to try again, as well as pepper. I'm going to try again, and then I'm going to transplant those at a later stage. But today I'm also planting some Ashley cucumber. I think I'm only going to plant around 3 or 4 seeds today that we are going to plant it to actually interplant or mix plant with other crops, and hopefully we are going to direct it to the trellis of the fence so that it can get support from there. So this is what we are planting today. Our soil is having cow manure, no, goat manure, but I'm also having bone meal here to help with the roots of our plants. So we are going to use this to amend the soil. So yes, the other thing I want to show you, because I don't have any mulch and it's quite warm, I actually have palm pit that I just decided that I'm going to add water to so that it's wet. We are specifically adding this to the top of our beds, especially with the carrots, because the carrot seeds takes quite long to germinate, but they don't want to dry out. And with our sun, although it's autumn, I really can't guarantee that it's not going to dry out. So we are going to add some palm pit on top of the lines where, or the rows where we are going to put our seeds, to just make sure that they are protected from the sun and they won't dry out. So yeah, so we are having 12 beds. The ones to my right, the 3 are 1 by 5 meters. These are 1 by 3.5, as well as those. And the 3 very last ones, those ones are 1 by 4 meters. And I actually had to write what I'm going to plant where because of specific reasons. And I just thought there are too many beds and I'm going to forget. So the first one, we are going to put onions in there. The reason is that I don't really like the soil quality, but the major reason is because it's closer to the fence, and all the critters will be coming from outside the fence. Onions is very good, are very good for repelling pests because of the smell. So this is why we are putting them there. The thing is, I don't think there's a lot of manure in that bed. So I think I'm going to heavily amend it with bone meal. And I also have to fertilize before our harvest. But the good thing is we are going into winter, and onions love winter. So I'm very optimistic for that. The second bed, we are going to put beans in here. The reason we are putting bush beans in here is because this bed gets sun throughout the day. This is actually the east and then the west. So this side of these 3 beds are directly in the sun. So the beans that loves heat are going to benefit from that. We also have more than enough manure in there. Here we are putting beetroot. It's one of the longest beds, and we consume quite a lot of beetroots. And the beetroots also do well with the sun. They don't really want shade, so we are putting them here. In here we are putting carrots because we experienced issues with digging. Some of the beds have compacted soil, but this one went a bit deeper. So this is why we are putting our carrots here, hoping that they are going to grow long and straight. In here we are going to put cabbage, and this is not going to be planted today because I'm not directly planting the cabbage. In there we are going to put garlic, that sad looking garlic, hoping that it's going to survive, and it's in the shade because garlic loves a bit of a cool weather. So it's going to get the morning sun, but in the evening it will be in the shade. So are all this and all the crops we are adding here. Here I have plans for this space. This is 2 meters. Yeah, I have plans for this, but you guys are going to see it in due course. In here we are going to put spinach. This is Dr. Twapi Gabriel's bed. It's having rocks that he will have to remove, but he's going to plant some of his crops in here. Dr. Gabriel, do you mind telling people what you want to plant?
Hello everyone, my name is Christian Gabriel, and today for my bed I'm going to be planting spinach, beetroot, carrots, and onions.
Okay, so those are what he chose. I'm sure he would have been very excited for the summer garden to plant the watermelons and whatever, right? And the corns, but we are headed into winter. So during summer, he's probably going to get an additional bed so that he can unleash the farmer in him. In here we are going to add onions. So I'm thinking this bed, whatever he's planting here, it's this mixed planting is going to repel all the pests. So I'm very optimistic about his bed, because the kind of style he's doing, I love. In here we are going to add tomatoes at a later stage. I don't know why I decided to put tomatoes in here, because tomatoes are quite sun loving and this will be receiving shade. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe I should put tomatoes in the last bed, because that's, yeah, perhaps we are going to put garlic here and then leave that empty for the tomatoes, and this one will leave empty for the peppers, so that we are having sun loving. I think for the days that we are going to have frosts, I will have to come out and protect them, but for now that's a story for another day. So now that you know what we are planting where, let the planting begin.
Even as we plant this garden, I am putting my faith out there, because I am worried about the quality of the soil. But I don't want it to stop me from planting my garden or moving a step closer to achieving the garden of my dreams. So I am going to continue, or we are going to continue with the planting, and hopefully just amend the soil as seasons go. We are not going to let this stop us. Although it's officially autumn, um, our sun is still quite hot. So we have come through, as you can see on the beds, and added some grass clippings as much. I'm sure I'm probably going to regret this, because there are seeds in these grass clippings, and that means more weed. But to me, that's a small price to pay, for as long as my plants are not drying out.